You know, I don't think I've ever done a rundown of my favorite mods to the Toyota Tacoma. You know, I've got tons of different mods and things on here, but I do have about 6 that I would say are my favorites. Now, before we get into it, don't think that I don't like the other ones. I do. They're all awesome mods, but these are the 6 that really stand out to me. So let's go outside and let's take a look. Number 1, when you first look at the truck, has to be the wheels and tires. I mean, other than the color, of course. The color grabs you as soon as you see this truck, but the wheels and tires. I think these are a good combination, particularly for this electric lime metallic color. Now, they are a tad bit customized. You can see the black rhino in the middle. I actually took that center cap apart, broke the plastic welds on the back, and then painted the letters and put them back inside. And I think they came out pretty well, and they're a pretty good match for the truck. Now, I don't have anything extreme on here, of course. These are Falcon Wild Peaks, and they are a size 265/70 R16 for those that ask. And just, I believe it's a -10 offset on the wheel. And what that does is give me a little bit of poke outside of the truck, and I think it's the perfect look. Anything bigger, and you really need to have some sort of a lift. Number 2, the black mirrors. Some would say that's kind of a European kind of thing, right? Not for me so much. I just dig that they're black as opposed to the lime green that were on there. I think they break up the massive color that you have on the truck. You know, the Tacoma's not the smallest beast in the world anyway, right? That kind of breaks up the color a little bit and adds something a little bit different. I really doubt, unless you're driving around in a black truck or a lower trim level, that you've got black mirror caps on your truck. Pretty easy to do. They just pop off, pop back on. A little bit harder than that. You're probably going to think you're breaking them, taking them off, but they're really not too difficult, and they add a lot of flair to the truck, I think. Next up, of course, is the Sport Bar. This thing is from Black Horse. Again, it's got a little bit of a modification to it. When it comes, you guys can see the red little insert there. That's to highlight the Black Horse lettering. I went with kind of an orange theme on this truck, so I took those out and I painted them orange, and then they just screw in from the back. There's a couple of screws holding them in. Just makes it pop a little bit. If you're going to have the name on anything that you have, why not accentuate it and really go for it? I think it adds a little bit of muscle to the truck, makes it look a little beefier than it already is. Does add a little bit of functionality in that if you're trying to tie anything down inside here, now you have the rails themselves to tie onto. Of course, you have all of the other tie down points and things inside, but this just adds a little bit more usability, I guess. Also, of course, you can add lights to the top like I've done there. It does come with an incorporated third brake light. That I just ran a wire down all the way to the back and wired into the back tail light. That way when I hit the brakes, that light goes off. And I do think that's probably some sort of a requirement, because without it, you'd be blocking the third brake light that came with the truck. Nonetheless, it looks great up there. People are going to know when you're stopping because it's a bright LED. And I just think, again, it looks pretty darn cool on the truck. Now, the next one, let's go up here to the front. Of course, the Highline front bumper. This thing comes from Body Armor, if you're not familiar. I think it just beefs up the truck a little bit more. I like this tubular hoop across the top. High quality product. I've had them on one other Tacoma before and they lasted really well, no issues. The installation can be a little bit hairy, I guess, if you're a little bit squeamish about cutting anything on the truck, because you do have to cut right along the top and the sides here. Just take your time, make sure you follow the directions, measure about 100 times, and it's not an issue. I also like that it allows you to add an LED light bar here. You could put some sort of a winch hookup, I suppose, in that front area if you want. I chose to go with a light bar rather, because I don't really have a need for a winch. Also, it gives you a place to put D-rings. So it's kind of a threefer, if you will. You've got the front bumper itself, you've got the light bar, and then you've got the D-rings down there, all incorporated within this bumper from Body Armor, actually. And they do have their insignia on the front. If I get energetic, I might put something behind here to accentuate this Body Armor insignia on here, much like I did on the back with the Sport Bar. Next up, of course, you probably know this one if you watch my channel. I'm talking about the Pedal Commander. This thing is awesome. Honestly, I wouldn't have a Toyota Tacoma without it. The Tacoma has an inherent built-in throttle lag. You know, if you've got one, what that is in the third generation. When you touch the gas, it doesn't go. It's kind of a drag. Pedal Commander gets rid of that. It is a throttle lag eliminator. There are other features to it, like an eco mode. But for me, the whole idea was to eliminate throttle lag and make the truck go, to give it the oomph that it really should have. And Pedal Commander takes care of that. There is a discount on the channel for it. If you want to find that, just look down below. Awesome. Plus, it looks pretty cool inside the truck as well. This last one, number 6, we have to pop the hood. And this was a close runner-up for me when it comes to favorite mods. That is, or are, the hood struts, but that's not number 6. Number 6, I'm sure it caught your eye right away, and that was the whole idea, is this customized. I guess I've kind of customized many of the mods that I've put on myself. So beyond customizing the truck, I've customized the mods as well. I'm talking about the K&N cold air intake. It's not really a cold air intake because it's open. It's an open air intake. Still pulls in a lot of air, obviously, from the fender, little cutout down there. So still gets a lot of fresh air. I've got the tube painted green to match the truck. It came out pretty well. You can kind of see it up against the color of the truck itself. I think it's awesome. Just something to catch the eye when you pop the hood. There's a few other things I need to do under here yet, but that one, definitely one of my favorites. I am going to mention a runner-up, a number 7, if you will, and that is this grill. This thing is awesome. Obviously, it's customized. It has the channel name in it. For me, I wanted that for advertising purposes, but you could put anything you want in there. Tacoma, Toyota, maybe your favorite football name or team name, whatever you want. I just think it also adds a little bit of bling to the truck, if you will, and it definitely is a good number 7. Anyway, I hadn't done a video like this before, I don't think, where I've actually run through my personal favorites of all of the mods that are on the truck. As you've seen as we're going through, of course there are many more. They're great as well. Leave a comment. Of all the mods you've done with your Tacoma, what are your top, let's say, 2? What are your favorites? I'd just be curious to know. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.